What does daily life look like in North Korea? Imagine a country where the government decides your job, your hairstyle, even the clothes you wear. A place where your phone secretly spies on you and your family can be punished for something you didn't even do. Today, we'll explore what life is really like inside the world's most secretive dictatorship and the story of one man who risked everything to escape. One of the most powerful stories is that of Shin Dong-hyuk. He was born in Camp 14, a political prison in North Korea. His entire childhood was spent behind barbed wire because of a rule known as guilt by association. If one family member commits a crime, even their children and grandchildren are punished. Shin's only food was a thin corn porridge, and at times he had to eat rats and grass just to stay alive. When he was 13, he overheard his mother and brother talking about escaping. Hoping for extra food, he told the guards. Months later, he was forced to watch as his mother was hanged and his brother was shot before his eyes. Afterward, Shin was tortured for 6 months. At 23, he finally escaped by crawling through an electrified fence. He reached South Korea and shared his story with the world, revealing the horrifying reality of life inside North Korea's prison camps. But the truth is, outside the prison camps, life for ordinary citizens is not much freer. North Korea has around 25 million people, and nearly every part of their lives is controlled by the state. Where you live, what you study, and the work you do are all decided by the government. Even something as simple as a haircut is regulated. There are only 15 approved hairstyles for men and 15 for women. Clothes are tightly controlled too. Jeans, lipstick, short skirts, and anything seen as Western are banned. To enforce this, the country even has a so-called fashion police. Breaking these rules can lead to fines, humiliation, or even jail. Once, North Korea was more prosperous than South Korea. During the 1950s to the 1980s, the country had free healthcare, education, and housing. But in the 1990s, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, everything changed. Without Soviet support, North Korea's economy collapsed, power stations shut down, and famine swept through the country. Between 500,000 and 2 million people starved to death. Families often chose to let elderly relatives go hungry so that children could survive. Even today, men earn such low salaries that their monthly income is barely enough to buy a few kilograms of corn. As a result, women have taken over responsibility for survival, running underground markets called Myeongmadang. These black markets sell food, clothing, even smuggled USB drives containing foreign films and dramas. They have become not only a lifeline, but also a quiet form of resistance, connecting North Koreans to the outside world. The regime maintains control through a rigid class system called Songbun. Every citizen is placed into one of 3 categories: loyal, wavering, or hostile. Your class determines your job, the amount of food you receive, your opportunities in education, and even whom you can marry. Families are punished collectively. If one person is accused of a crime, the entire family can be sent to prison camps for generations. This fear is reinforced by constant spying. People are pressured to inform on their friends and relatives. As a result, even inside their own homes, citizens are afraid to speak freely, never sure if a loved one might betray them to the authorities. Entertainment and information are also completely controlled. Only government channels are allowed, showing endless propaganda praising Kim Jong-un as if he were a god. Foreign films are banned, and those caught watching them face severe punishments. Teenagers have been sentenced to more than a decade of hard labor for secretly watching South Korean dramas. In some cases, people have even been executed for distributing foreign media. Still, people risk their lives to watch these shows, often hiding in the dark with the volume turned low. For many, it is their first glimpse of a world beyond propaganda. The prison camps themselves are among the darkest aspects of this regime. Between 80,000 and 120,000 people are held in brutal conditions. Prisoners are forced to work up to 18 hours a day in mines and fields, often with so little food that 40% die of starvation. They eat rats, grass, or pig fodder to survive. Guards publicly execute those who try to escape, or even those who steal food. Former guards have revealed that, in the event of war, they were ordered to kill all prisoners to erase evidence of the camps. The United Nations has compared North Korea's crimes against humanity to those of Nazi Germany. And the lesson for us is clear. Freedom is fragile. We must value it, protect it, and never hand it over lightly, because once it is gone, winning it back comes at a terrible cost.